just you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar. Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 64, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, Wingardium Leviosa, and everything in between. I am your host, Mattbrush, and with me today,
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a blizzard, Harry.
You're a blizzard?
You ever see that one that's like a DQ blizzard, and he's like, I'm a what?
Oh, boy.
And
wait, that's a... Oh,
how are you doing?
I'm good. That was fun. Sorry, did you say that there's an ad?
No, it wasn't an ad. It was just like a photo of like a blizzard.
Okay.
You're a blizzard, Harry.
Chicken gizzard, Harry. What?
A what? You're a chicken gizzard? Yeah, I just sent you the photo. I don't know why, I just always guess. You're a blizzard, Harry.
Blizzard trademark, like on the TM's part of it too. Has to be there.
I guess there's probably like one for all of them, like you're a lizard, Harry.
Yeah. What else could there be? What else rhymes with wizard? Gizzard, yeah, blizzard. Scissorp.
Scissorp. Yeah, there is a "You're a lizard, Harry." It's just a photo of a lizard.
You're a lizard, Harry.
Oh my gosh.
You're a lizard. You're a lizard.
Okay, this one's better. It's got better comedic timing, so I'll describe this to the audience. This one shows Hagrid, and he says, "You're a lizard, Harry," and it shows Harry, and he goes, "I'm a what?" And then it shows Hagrid, and he's like, "A lizard." It cuts back, and Harry suddenly got a lizard head.
But he still has a human neck.
Yep.
And his t-shirt.
Yeah, that one's better, Dad. I like
head.
that. That's good comedic timing. I'm a what? You're a lizard.
A lizard, I said. Cool.
Yeah. And
all
this one,
right.
just to end off the whole joke, this one here was art. Somebody actually drew art of him saying, "You're a lizard, Harry," and it shows a lizard going, "What?"
Ooh, okay, wait, I'm opening this one up. Come on, internet, work better.
Ooh, work.
And
What do you got, a microwave going or something?
No, but I think somebody else does or did.
Just before
several
recording
times.
this, my fiance had to microwave some crackers with some cheese on them. She was apologizing profusely.
Without ketchup.
Without ketchup. She was apologizing profusely because she knew that cuts my internet.
The conversation was great. It was really, really fun to listen to.
Anth0z, what's new with you?
Oh. Well,
Well,
I watched Little Women.
Little
Or I should say,
Women.
my wife and I watched Little Women.
The movie.
They weren't.
That's
they
got
weren't that
Emma
little.
Watson in it, right?
Yep, and
Yep.
Swarovski. What is her name? Oh no.
I like swoosh.
How
How
do you say it?
Swoosh.
How to pronounce Saoirse? No way. Saoirse?
Saoirse? Inertia?
Oh, sorry, I forgot that it's playing in my headphones and you can't hear it. Saoirse Ronan. She was in Brooklyn. Anyway, so yeah, she's in it, and Emma Watson's in it. And is your microwave going again?
Oh, is it cutting out? Oh, I didn't even realize.
Is it not?
Oh, no. Yeah, it looks like it just came back.
No.
In.
Oh, I think we're okay.
The microwave is not going, so
I
don't know what's cutting it now.
Oh, are you sure? Maybe she just microwaved one cracker, and it just took like 5 seconds.
It's very possible. I think she's also trying to watch Disney Plus, so maybe Disney Plus is microwaving our system right now. You're back in though. I can hear you now. So
okay. Yeah, and I can see you moving fluidly. Who else is in it? Florence Pugh. I can't say any of these names. Okay,
It's
Laura
Swoosh and
Dern is in
Pugh.
it.
The crime-fighting duo.
Meryl Streep is in it. Timothée Chalamet is in it. Florence, if it is Pugh or Florence Pugh, Puff. She's going to be she's the White Widow, or she's like the sister in Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
She's Yelena Belova.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yelena
cool.
Belova.
So yeah, the movie was cute. I enjoyed it more than the book, which is kind of rare. I usually enjoy the books more.
Yeah.
But I think I enjoy. So it's been a while since I read the book, and I don't recall a lot of the scenes happening in the same way that they did in the book. And I imagine it's because visually they need to be like, they need to compel you differently, right? They need to bring different kinds of drama to the table to really make you invested like in the characters and like what it is that they want to do and why they are the way they are. So I'm sure like majority of it is still pretty similar to the book for an adaptation, but I enjoyed the movie more. It just was, I guess it was paced well. Okay. And they did a lot of they had like a lot of This Is Us elements where you watch something happening currently and then you watch something happening in the past, and sometimes they have a transition where you can't quite tell if it's if they're back in the past or if they're in like modern time, which is kind of nice because it at the same time they show a lot of parallels to what happened then, what happens now. Right. So I thought the movie overall, I did really like it. I did get teary.
Oh,
like a few times towards the end, and so
well, if it's that good, like, honestly, I'll consider watching it. I've never read the book, but I want to know how little these women really are. So
they have various sizes, but overall, like their stature is not to be mocked. That's what I could say about that.
Petite humain.
Petite une fille. Or something. That's just one girl. One little girl. Petite femme? Is that
Petite femme?
Petite femme. Okay. Little woman. So go watch that if you got a chance to.
Okay.
It was enjoyable. Who else is it? Yeah, I said Meryl Streep's in it. Was he also in The King? No. He was the dad in Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. If you watched it.
No.
What's his name? Darn. I want to know his name. I want to know your name.
I feel like I really need to catch up on movies. I'm like really far behind.
Without the ketchup.
I need to catch up on the ketchup.
No, okay. Is this him? Is this... Nope, not John Brooke. Oh, Chris Cooper. Chris Cooper.
Coopy doopy.
He reminds me of somebody, but I can't quite picture who. Like, he reminds me of another actor. I'm not gonna get it. Oh, he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, uncredited as Norman Osborn. What?
Weird.
There must have been clips of him, right? Like scenes of Norman Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I don't remember a Norman Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man series.
Maybe. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it was just maybe it was like voiceovers then or something. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Enough of that.
Wow.
Cool. I just stumbled upon this image just before this episode. So it's a picture of it's a screen cap of the Brady Bunch, like the opening intro, you know, when they're all in like their individual squares. So there's like 9 squares in like the one, and it's like blue screen, everybody's just looking forward.
Yeah.
And the caption was, so this was a Zoom call this whole time. And yeah, it's exactly what the Zoom call is.
That's so many people's lives are like right now.
Yeah.
And me working in IT, that's a lot of my job is right now, is making sure people can set up their webcams correctly.
Oh, really? Are you getting a lot of that?
Yeah. Spent most of my day today actually going in and setting up. We have like a meeting room at work, and it's got all those chairs in it, and I had to get the webcam set up. And they have this really nice blue snowball microphone, but it's not a snowball actually. It's a blue I don't know, super expensive microphone, and it's so nice. I was like, oh, that'd be great for the podcast, but nope. And anyways, we're setting it all up in this meeting room, and then I had to like get all these people to call in and test their equipment and stuff for this meeting they're gonna have. That's what it is for me, just testing audio and video equipment. That's IT right now.
You're the AV guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I did a little bit of troubleshooting for my wife's mom too, because she, I think she had to start working from home this was maybe a couple weeks back. So I actually lent her my monitor because she was able to bring her work laptop home. But I mean, staring at this small screen the whole day, it's not that fun. So lent her my laptop or my monitor, old monitors, so she can have like a bigger screen to look at and like have it at eye level at least.
Yeah.
But then one issue that came up was a lot of so she wanted to use some of her the onboard mic and camera for Zoom calls. There was something else that she needed to figure out too, and I'm trying to think back to what it was. I knew almost like from the moment that the issue was because when she's working at home, she has to log into a remote server, like to access the work server.
She has the VPN to her work connection.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you do that, your laptop or whatever computer you're working on all of a sudden starts using, it's almost like it's only using the applications that the remote server is accessing. So your remote server accesses anything on the server, but it doesn't access everything on your actual laptop or your PC, like your hardware. So unless you've set it up beforehand or changed some settings, like if you try to use your webcam or you're on the attached camera or microphone while you are connected remotely, it won't actually work. So you'd have to preset those things beforehand, like allow your remote connection to use these tools, to use these things.
Yeah, when you're using like remote desktop connection on like Windows, for example, there's a little checkbox you have to tick before logging in to the remote, to the IP address that you type in. If you tick that checkbox, though, those devices should go across into the Windows session, and then you should be able to just, go from there. Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to make sure it's checked.
Yeah, so I had never had to do that before, but it was one inkling that I had because I have had to work like on a remote server before for a little bit. I remember the other issue. The first issue was actually after she connected in my monitor that I gave her. We actually weren't able to set which was the primary or which one was the secondary, and for the same reason, because in remote you don't get like that's an admin protocol, or that's an admin like process. So unless you were signed in as the admin, which you are not when you're working on a remote server because you're just signing in as like an employee, you can't actually make those changes. So again, we'd have to go out of remote to set those things up, or like tick off the box like, yes, allow this to be the case, blah blah blah, go back in and change it. So even though I'm not in IT, I'm doing that troubleshooting stuff. I know I sympathize with you.
Yep.
I'm not doing it as much as you, but I get what you're going through.
Yeah, it's annoying, but it's also what I get paid for, so I can't complain too much. I'm definitely not mad about it or anything like that. It is what it is. I do it all day. Then I feel like all my hobbies they're all like connected somehow. They all have some kind of connection to them. So yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. It's like life is seamless.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a good thing about IT though is that you can work remotely from home. My ultimate dream job, I'd be working from an office at my house. So I think that'd be perfect.
I think it would be nice too. Like I because my wife and I, we like every once in a while we'll look up houses online to see like what's available and like what kind of orientations they all have. Yeah. And as I'm looking through the pictures, I'm trying to picture, okay, where's the piano going to be? Where's my office going to be? I know. Like all that kind of stuff.
I'm fortunate enough to have this as a separate office room just because the guy who owned the house previous to us, he had a garage and then turned it into an office. So now it's just a separate office room where, I can put my keyboard right next to my computer and get this whole desktop set up. And then my fiance's keyboard and my fiance's desktop and all that set up just down over there. So it's just fortunate we've got that. Now we've just called this to study, and we've got our bookshelves in here and stuff too. So that's just lucky for storage. But I mean, the next house we get, we'll have to be looking at that kind of stuff. Where is this going to go? Where's that going to go? And I would like to get a piano one day instead of just a keyboard. So
that upgrade to Grandmaster piano.
Grandmaster piano. I like that. My grandparents have a grand piano, and it's beautiful. I hope one day.
Do you know what kind it is, or like what brand?
I don't know the brand. They, They've got, or they used to own a music company though, so it's quite a nice one.
Nice.
I mean, I'm
Cool.
not sure. I mean, they've told me it's nice. I don't actually know the brand. I've only played it twice. I want to say it's a Yamaha. Do they make grand pianos as well, or do they just make keyboards?
No, they make grand pianos.
Do they? Okay, I want to say it's a
pretty
Yamaha.
sure they
It's white. It's like one of those. It looks like it's from like a music video. It's this
Ooh,
white grand piano.
they have a
which is
white
beautiful.
grand piano.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so nice.
oh,
It's one of those
that's
ones
nice.
where like anything you play just has that perfect dreamy sound to it, where it's like it
Oh.
echoes out into the room. It's like, oh, I love it.
I'm looking it up.
In contrast to that, my uncle's got a keyboard that is just so nice. It's one of the nicest keyboards I've ever played. It's better than some pianos I've played, and it's just the sound that comes out of it is just so good. And I was playing some songs last Christmas. I think I mentioned on the podcast. And I was just so happy with this keyboard. I was like, I could play anything right now. It just sounds good.
Oh man, you know what? So, a lot of the times when I think of a white grand piano, I think of I'm pretty sure it was a grand piano in Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, when Tubbs.
When he's I guess this is after he's died. No, is this?
I think it's after
This
he's
is
died.
after he's died, and just in
Happy's
Happy's
dreaming?
imagination.
Yeah.
He's going to his happy place,
Yeah.
and Chubbs is there playing on
Yeah,
this
playing on
white
piano.
grand piano. Yeah.
Ooh. Actually, yeah, this Yamaha one I'm
Heaven's
looking
piano.
at right now, I feel like this is... I'm just going to send you this photo. This one here looks similar to what I remember of their piano. Okay, and while that photo was sending... Oh, there we go, it sent.
Ooh. That's cute.
Yeah, super nice.
Very nice.
Anyways, so Anth0z, let's move into ye old news.
Sure.
Oh, but before we do, why don't I tell
Okay.
you a pirate joke?
Oh, perfect, because you didn't last time.
I didn't last time. I did forget. Okay, here we go. Anth0z, why was the pirate army of 100 men at... Oh, no.
Okay, good. You didn't freeze from the microwave.
No, I didn't. What is this? Hold on.
Okay, you dissect that.
Oh, no, I read this wrong. I am so sorry.
Did you read the punchline?
I read this totally wrong. I'm going to find a different one real quick.
Wait, can I know what happened with that one?
No, I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay, all right, fine.
Okay, here's a different one.
so curious.
What? I'm just reading this off the cuff. Here we go. What did the pirate say when he saw two of his shipmates? Oh, no, I can't read that one either. There's a lot of rude jokes on here, so I'm not going to read these.
Okay.
Here we go. What is a pirate's favorite section in retail?
In retail?
Yes. What is a pirate's favorite section in retail?
Pharmacy. No, that's not even retail.
That's actually not that bad. I can see that as being a joke on here. It's not. It's actually not that far off either from what this is.
From pharmacy?
Yeah.
Medicine. What am I?
Man.
Planks. I don't know what.
Health and booty.
Okay. Okay. All right, I like it. That's
Yeah,
cool.
man, good job though. You were actually on the right track. That wasn't bad. Yeah.
Pharmacy.
I apologize for the first two jokes. I didn't realize that they were like adult associated jokes until afterwards, and then went, oh, so I don't really. For one, I don't
Oh,
really
even
like
the first one too.
Yeah, for one, I don't
Oh,
really
okay.
like adult crude humor all that much. I'm
It's
not
like cheap humor.
Yeah, I find it exactly. I find it cheap. It's not very crafty.
Yeah.
But for two, it's just like, oh, I obviously don't want to put that on the podcast. I want it to be more of a family-friendly podcast.
Okay.
So yeah, staying away from
That's
that.
fair.
Anyway, so sorry about
All
that.
good.
Anth0z, wild news.
Where can the audience find you? Well, you
Where
can
can
find
the- where
me
can the
talking about
audience find
ye old news. Well, let's see. It's been a while since we've talked about Marvel,
Ayo.
and that's because there isn't any news. So
Okay, so let's move on. No.
yeah, so I did stumble upon this Instagram post where scientists have found a potentially habitable exoplanet that is similar in size and temperature to Earth. So let me read. Let's read this whole. Wait,
Is it
this
Planet
cut off?
X or whatever it was called?
No. So this is 2 days ago. Out of the 2,681 exoplanets spotted by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope between 2009 and 2018, astronomers say they found the one that is the most similar in size and potentially temperature to Earth, according to a new study. Dubbed Kepler-1649c, the planet is 1.06 times larger than Earth and receives about 75% of the amount of light that the Earth gets from the sun. So, I guess more research on that just to see like how suitable it would be, but I haven't really looked into seeing, because I thought that other planets or potential planets had been found, although I don't know how close or how far they were, but I guess this must be the most, like, the closest thing possible to Earth. So
I feel like that's something, yeah. Like you said, I feel like that's something we've heard before. My skeptical, don't believe anything I hear from NASA kind of brain is all like, oh, they're gonna totally send a probe down there, and then they're gonna take photos of it, and they could just take photos from, like, I don't know, South Africa, and then like send them back just and be like, look at these photos of this habitable planet. I'm not saying that's what they're doing. My brain likes to think the opposite sometimes, and that's almost what I feel like could happen.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, if it helps, this was posted on Instagram, and everything that's on Instagram is official.
Holy shoot, I didn't realize it was on Instagram. I'm so sorry for that. Now it's fact.
Definitely, because Insta means real.
Oh, Realgram. I get it now.
Yeah. Realgram.
It's my Gram's birthday today too.
Really? I mean, Insta-E?
Yeah. I call her
actually,
I call her my Gammy. So I said, happy birthday, Gammy. And I said, you're my favorite Gammy. And then she said, you're my favorite grandson. Don't tell the others.
Did she really say that? Oh, that's awesome.
It was like the perfect response. I loved it.
You have an awesome Gammy.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet.
Oh, Gammy. Tell Gammy I said happy birthday too.
I will. Gams.
That's cute. Gammy.
She made me call her Gammy when I was like a kid, because she thought grandma sounded too old. And it's funny because these days Gammy just sounds so old. Like, grandma sounds better than Gammy.
It does kind of sound older than grandma, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why she preferred Gammy, but she did. So
yeah, well, whatever. She's happy with it.
Yep.
Yeah, she dubbed herself. So
yeah, exactly. She knighted herself.
Sir
Gammy.
I mean, I think she would be Dame, but
you're right. She would be Dame.
Sir.
Damsel.
Sir. Damsel. I have one more news item. Do you have any news?
Good. I've got zero news, except for Bannerlord is a good game and people should play it.
Cool.
It's fun. I've got lots of news about my Bannerlord character, but I've got nothing about news.
Okay, well, I see you're a Bannerlord, and I raise you Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh yeah, I've heard some stuff about this.
I hadn't heard about it until I heard things about it, not knowing that it was about Warzone. So right now Warzone is free to play, and it is so for those who don't know it, it is a Call of Duty game that is so free to play online, battle royale, team deathmatch kind of style. But I think your team can only have up to 4 people, and you play in a server with up to like 150 people. And I can't remember what the end result is, but I guess I don't know if it's time limit based or like capture the flag kind of based, or
I'm unfortunately not sure on actually how the gameplay style works. I just know that it's a battle royale, but within the Call of Duty universe, and it is actually doing quite well. People are enjoying it.
So I guess like the things that I've been hearing about it lately, or that I've been reading, like I see a lot of people say, oh, I've been spending a lot of time in the gulag, and I'm like, what the heck is the gulag?
Was there like prison encampments inside of the battle royale game? Oh,
so
wow,
exactly, that's exactly what it is. I had no idea until I've been
weird.
seeing the word gulag for the past like few weeks or a couple weeks. No idea what it was until today.
Oh, okay.
So gulag, it is the prison where if you die, so your team, the rest of your teams can spend resources to bring you, like to revive you.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you go, you get sent to the gulag, and you basically have a chance to go. Or you don't have a chance, but you will go 1v1 against somebody else in that prison, in the gulag, and the winner gets revived automatically.
Oh, that's an interesting gameplay mechanic. I like that.
So, yeah,
Did
a lot
you
of
say
people
Warzone
are really
was free, by the way?
It's free.
Interesting. Yeah. So much like Fortnite, then. It's kind of taking in the Fortnite model?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that's a limited time thing or it's just free all the time, but I downloaded it on so it's also cross-platform. You can get it on PSN or Xbox or via Blizzard, so you can get it on your Battle.net client. And so I downloaded it, but I haven't started playing it yet. I'm really excited to play it. When I was younger, I was really into FPSs. Well, I mean specifically Counter-Strike, and this one I never really got into Call of Duty because all my friends always played it on consoles, and I just hated playing FPSs with like a handheld controller.
Right.
And so now that I get to play with people using my PC and everybody can play whatever they want to, I'm really inclined to play it, so I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, so that I just want to talk about that prison thing, because I did read a lot of people comment about saying like they really like that aspect of it. They think that's such a cool implementation of it because it gives you it's not just giving you a second chance, but it's just offering you like more gameplay.
Yeah,
really.
I really like that. Honestly, I'm gonna be saying this for years. Unfortunately, it's gonna become really competitive. But this reminds me, repetitive, not competitive. This reminds me of a mechanic from Doom. This just sounds like something right out of Doom. It's like, you want to live again? Well, now you have to fight this guy. You know?
Yeah, fight your way through it. Yeah, exactly.
It's like punishing you further for like you screwing up. So
yeah. So I was watching some scenes with it. So you get pushed into like your prison cell, and then like I think right after you get in your cell, somebody says like, "Oh, this is blah blah blah. You got one more chance to come back and join us on the enemy lines or whatever." So you get out of your cell, and you basically you're in kind of like this like a squared facility. So you're walking along the balconies, like along the edge.
Yeah.
And you can see like anybody else, I guess, that's in there with you, and you can like punch each other, but you don't die. You don't actually take damage. And then in the center, in the middle ground, you can actually watch the people doing their 1v1.
Wow.
So you can watch the people.
That's crazy. Like Gladiator.
They grab their guns, and it's a little bit. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Gladiator because they're in a facility that has like obstacles or just like things in the way, so it's kind of like a maze for them, right? It's not just like an open area, but you actually have to kind of sneak around and try to find your guy and kill them as fast as you can, and then you can make it back into that battle royale match game.
Yeah.
When you do come back, you are parachuting down, like back into the field,
right? Like Fortnite kind of
cool
thing, or the Daisy and all that.
Oh, I guess so. I've never played those games, but.
Oh yeah, the Battle Royale stuff, it's not new. It's been around for a long time. It's just that it's right now kicking off. Like, people are really liking it.
Yeah.
But it was, I used to play it back with DayZ back in the day. And before DayZ, I believe... Or no, was DayZ the one I started with? I think it was. It was like a mod from the Arma 2 game. It was just a mod, and then it turned into DayZ. And then from that, it turned into World War Z, I think was that popular one.
Yeah.
Those were like fighting for each other. Then Fortnite came out of nowhere to like take over them. I'm missing one though. There's one that's like really popular.
Apex, is that one?
No, there was one before Apex.
Legends. Oh,
what's the one that's like? It was like the army military-esque one. It's not DayZ, but it was something. I don't know why I'm forgetting this right now, but it's like really popular. Player Unknown Battlegrounds. That was it.
Whoa, unknown. What's it called?
It's called Player Unknown Battlegrounds. It's funny that people don't know what this is now, because there was a time when this was like the most
PUBG.
Popular. Yeah. Oh yeah. PUBG. Yeah.
Oh.
But that's the thing. PUBG's like. Sorry, I sounded like. I obviously don't play it, but yeah, this was really popular.
I've never played it either. But
yeah, PUBG was like incredibly popular. Now people barely talk about this game, but this is what started everything, right? Well, sorry, this isn't even what started it, but this is what made it famous. And then Fortnite, like Minecraft did it. It just made it like it was like bigger than the Beatles. Oh, H1Z1, that was the one that was before PUBG. And so they just keep refining and getting different and better and different and better. And now with this Call of Duty Warzone one, I wonder if it's going to take out Fortnite. For me, I'm not really interested. I'm more into like Minecraft and all that kind of stuff. If I'm going to play anything that's kind of like multiplayer or cooperative or anything, I'm not as much into the shooting stuff when it comes to those competitive things there. But Doom has got me into arena shooters though. So I've actually been playing a little bit of Quake Champions for an arena shooter kind of game. I haven't ever played Overwatch, and I don't know if that's really my style. But I know that with Quake Champions, I don't know the difference, but for some reason Quake Champions seems to fit more the gameplay I'm wanting out of it. It's more raw and gruesome, I guess, while Overwatch still feels a little bit too I don't know, League of Legends-y or something. I don't know how to describe it. It's not what I'm looking for somehow.
Well, in Quake, do you have like really random special abilities?
There are special abilities in Quake, and it's something I'm not liking. Because I do like in Quake, like I want Quake 3 gameplay where you just kind of pick up weapons and shoot each other. It's more like GoldenEye, if you remember, like on N64 back in the day. You're just trying to find the best weapons and then kill each other with them.
Right.
But yeah, Quake Champions does add special abilities, which I think is kind of an Overwatch mechanic. And again, I think Overwatch kind of got it from League of Legends, but it's like making it very character based, and that's not really what I like. I like it all balanced where every character is the same, but at the same time, I am also enjoying the mechanics from the characters, so I can see the merits to it. I can see why people are liking it. It almost reminds me of Smash Bros in a weird way, where like you start to find the characters you like more and don't like. But yeah. Anyways, all I know is I'm liking Quake Champions. So.
Okay, cool. I never got into Quake. I think Quake is kind of an old game, isn't it? Like they came out around...
Quake's been around for a long time. The first Quake was like 94 or so.
Yeah.
There's popcorn in my pocket. I don't know why, but there was popcorn in my pocket. Right there.
Pocket corn.
Pocket corn. Yeah, no, so Quake's been around for a long time. It's just that it became multiplayer, or it became like the big deathmatch shooter. It's pretty much like one of the Godfather games for deathmatch shooters that started everything. And so, as like an allegiance to like classic first-person shooters kind of thing, it's like it still keeps coming back, and people are like, Quake, the original, the Godfather of it all. Before Quake was obviously Doom, and people did competitive multiplayer on that, but Quake's what made like QuakeCon. That's what people were going for the big battle tournaments and all that for shooters. Without Quake, there is no Counter-Strike. Without Quake, there is no Call of Duty. So Quake's what started everything.
And without Quake, there is no Ricochet. So I don't know if you ever played this game, but it was this, I guess you'd call it an arena shooter, except you use these killer discs. So you throw discs at people, and they're pretty much just like one-hit kills. But you're jumping around all these like platforms Tron? Like in space. Yeah, exactly. It's like Tron. When I first saw it, I'm like, is this just like a Tron game? But so it's a Valve or like Half-Life game. That was kind of like in combination with like CS and Half-Life and whatever other games. Wasn't Team Fortress part of that too?
Yeah, well, Half-Life itself is a mod off of Quake, and it was a mod to make Quake was single player, but it's more popular for its multiplayer. But Half-Life was a story-driven mod for Quake to make its own game, and then since John Carmack, who made Quake, the source code at least, he gave the source code out for free so anybody could use it. So the guys at Valve eventually took that source code and started Valve and made Half-Life. And then off of Half-Life, Counter-Strike became a mod, and so did Team Fortress. So you're right. It is all kind of mods off of mods off of mods. That's why I say there is no Half-Life, there is no Counter-Strike without Quake. There's also no Call of Duty without Quake. The source engine just lives in all these other games. So
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, anyway, yeah, so Ricochet was just like this random game that I think just nobody ever played. And honorable mention to this game.
All right.
Take a brief look. It's not really worth too much of a
pouring out for Ricochet.
Yep. Anyway, so that's my news.
Cool news, man.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into something I like to call topic number 1. I'll take on the topic this time. You took the topic last week. You stole it from me.
All right.
And the topic for me is a bit of an odd one. It's just something that kind of came up out of nowhere. I was in the middle of working on a game right now with a friend of mine. We've been developing this game for I don't know when we started, but I want to say we started about 2 months ago. With like concept, and I was doing a bit of the coding probably 3 months ago actually, but he kind of jumped on board 2 months ago for the concept. He started doing some art and stuff for me, and then we kind of were going back and forth, and then about a month ago we really started to heat up and get some more work done on it. We're putting lots more hours into it, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a good project for us, and I don't normally have somebody I'm leaning on when I'm making a game, so this has been helping me stay focused, and I'm just really liking the dynamic of that, because every time I start to stray away, there's some new tantalizing thing thrown in front of me. Usually it's art or something, and it gets me going again. I'm like, yes, and I go right back into it. Cool. So that's been nice. While we've been making this game, I have no idea how far we're going to take this game, so I don't want to talk about it too much about the concept of the game, just in case we do end up making, let's say, a Patreon or a Kickstarter or something in the future. I would rather leave that as a surprise to the people at that time. But for now, I'll just say that we're making a game that's sort of like a hack and slash kind of arcadey kind of style game, and we were designing the main character, and we were coming up with this concept that's really dark and gritty, and we're really enjoying that. And he came up with this concept, and it's funny. I saw his first like rendition. I had my own rendition of like a pixel version of his character, and then I was like, please make this better. Like, I can't really do much art, but please do what you can with this. And he came back with this one, and I loved it. It was great. But my first comment, I was like, it's weird. It's like, it's cool, and it's like got this nice gritty thing to it. I was like, but it's also kind of cute in a weird way.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know how you did it, but it kind of looks cute. He said that's exactly what his fiance had said at the time too. And he's like, yeah, she said it was like weirdly cute. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool. And I came up with this like nickname for the character, and I was like, it's now got this like cutesy little nickname in our like funny kind of horror inspired game, and I was like, it's so weird. But then I was thinking, I was like, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand sometimes. Is like the badass, but also cute at the same time. So Doom, I'll keep bringing it up, but Doom is a very, very good example of this. The Doom Slayer himself is a very intense, brutal character. But then he's
very cute.
Yeah, in the game, they even like steer into this, the developers themselves, because in the game you can collect pop vinyls of your own character, of the Doom Slayer. So you collect these little toy action figures of your character.
In the game you can connect.
Yeah,
you can collect.
In Doom, you can collect like pop vinyls of the Doom Slayer, because it's like little cute versions of the character. But obviously, the fans at some point found something cute about it and then made a cute version, right? And that's just kind of how everything goes, right? Yeah, I'm sure you can find a Voldemort cute plushie or something, right? Like it's just
for sure,
just as a thing. And I was like, oh, there's something like really nice about that. So then I was trying to think of like other examples of like cute. I'm like, I don't know. I was trying to think like, what is that makes something cute but also intense at the same time. I don't know if there is an
proportions.
Answer to this. Well, maybe because like something about the design of this character tells me pop vinyl. Like I can almost see it as a pop vinyl. And actually, another thing I can almost see is I can almost see Smash Bros. Like I can almost see it as a Smash Bros. Character.
Ooh,
and it's like
cool.
If you can see this character in those different formats or variations, what is it? You know, there's a general rule of thumb for animators, and I know the Doom Eternal team talked about this when they were making their characters, is that you should be able to make a silhouette of your character and people should be able to recognize it, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
So that's like a general rule of thumb, I guess, when you're trying to
You
create...
can definitely tell Goku by his silhouette of his hair.
Yeah, that's a
alone,
great
right?
example. Yeah. Or Mewtwo, for example, from Pokemon or something. You'll tell right away from the silhouette.
They made a whole TV series about that.
That's actually a good point. Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah.
But like, I think that maybe helps get to that level. So you could then, therefore, Dragon Ball Z is actually a very good example. It can be very raw and brutal and intense, and yet at the same time, you can make it kind of cutesy really quickly. But I wonder what that is. Like, you could instantly make like Goku. Don't they call it like chibi or something in Japanese?
Oh,
like,
chibi.
Chibi, yeah. And it's like instantly, it's like a cute version of like what was intense, right? So I don't really know. There's not really a question here. This is kind of just a talking point. You can springboard whenever you'd like on this, but I just found it.
Yeah, you got it.
I just found it interesting that now that I've seen that this dark, gritty, horror-esque character can look kind of cute, I'm like, I almost want to like really steer with that. I want to make this character like as dark and as evil as it can get. And then that way the cute thing is almost like a hilarious contrast to it in a weird way.
It's like if the Doomslayer actually were one with Isabelle.
Yes, exactly.
From Animal Crossing kind of thing.
Like in Doom Eternal, there's a portrait of the Doomslayer with his rabbit, with his pet bunny. And that's what's so funny is like it's this brutal, intense guy, but then he's like there and he's holding his little bunny. He's just like got in his arms, and it's like,
wait,
oh my god,
it's in the game?
Yeah.
Doomslayer picture? Like it's a...
Just type in Doomslayer portrait. I'm sure it'll come up.
Oh, portrait.
Yeah.
With rabbit.
Oh yeah, it's like the first thing that comes up.
Aw, that's so cute.
In the game, like in your Fortress of Solitude kind of place, Fortress of Doom, I think it's called. You'll see it as like a portrait up on the wall. It's like you just like steer into this cute but evil kind of thing. So
Aww.
I don't know if that brings anything for you, but it's a weird thing that kind of came up while we were kind of brainstorming the other day, and I was like, I like whatever that is. I don't really have a name for it, but whatever that is of cute and badass at the same time. It's called advertising. It's very well done.
That's So I was going to clarify. So I imagine that he would be doing most, if not all, of the coding, like the programming for it.
Yep.
But and then your friend, he's doing more of like the visual, like storyboard kind of stuff?
Well, actually, what I brought him on for was just for level design, because I was making most of the content and functionality for the game. Yeah, I was coding most of it and then building some levels, and then I was like, well, he was asking me some questions about it. I was like, well, if you want, like, you can start building some levels on here and just make a few levels here or there, and I'll test them out with the game. And it's just a good way to get used to the tools and to find things for me to work on, as well as when he's building levels. Then maybe he'll get inspired because he wants to make something that I don't have, and then that'll make me make more stuff. So I was like, okay, so yeah, he was building levels, but then eventually what he said he couldn't do any art at all, but then eventually he started making like little pixel art stuff, and then he started going crazy with it, and now he's really good at it. It's weird,
cool.
But he's done some good art, and so he started making all this stuff, and now he's pretty much become like the artist of the game. But he's I don't like labeling him as one thing, because he does so much stuff as well. Like, and I just as much as I don't just do the coding, I feel like he does so much of it that we're kind of both just doing a bit of everything. But he doesn't have the coding experience to understand what we're doing coding wise. So I sometimes just try to explain different concepts to him or functionalities of what's happening. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Nice.
But as
cool.
you know, you'll I'm gonna have you as a tester for us at some point. You'll be
the bug tester.
Yeah, you'll be the bug tester. And
I'm gonna find all the bugs.
Yeah, I do hope to eventually have some kind of public tester release for like some people to come out and just kind of test it for fun. Just let me know what they think about it. This game is just literally as a hobby. I'm just making for fun. I'm not doing anything monetary wise. I'm just making because it's a fun thing to do, and it keeps me busy, especially during the whole coronavirus stuff too. So
whatever happened to your previous, like, your fishing crafting game? Yeah.
You know how there are there is a bevy of folders on my computer filled with previous games that I've been working on. And that, unfortunately, just like in Indiana Jones, when they're putting the Ark of the Covenant away in like that cardboard or that crate at the end, and there's all the other crates of things. That's exactly like what my old games are like, the things I was working on. Like, okay, now it just rests with all these other ones.
Now archived.
Yeah. So that one, unfortunately, is back in the past. I might come back to it at some point. It's kind of like wherever I like to focus of what kind of games I'm interested at the time. I think at that time I was really looking for something more in the simulation vein, but I'm not really interested in simulation at the moment. I'm kind of more interested in something with like I think I'm more interested in story actually at the moment than I am on actual gameplay, which is funny. But I also want to make something that's like fun and entertaining, and so I think that's why it's taking me back to arcadey with like story-driven roots. So that's kind of where I'm steering right now. But this game could it actually did a major change 2 weeks ago on like a Friday. We came up with a new concept, and it massively changed the whole gameplay of the game. And I just love that since we don't tie ourselves down, we can totally do that. We almost changed the genre. We didn't, but we almost changed the genre in like 2 seconds. We were just like, what if, and then just changed, right? So I love that. And so I don't know. Tomorrow maybe it is a simulation game, but right now it's not.
Oh, that could be like the sequel.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be the same genre. Or same kind of gameplay. I mean, Mario 1 to 2 to 3 were all so
very different. Yeah, Legend of Zelda as well. The very first Legend of Zelda, then the second one, it was a platformer suddenly.
Yeah.
So it was actually more of like an RPG almost, but
yeah, like a weird side-scrolling RPG. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways,
cool.
Having a lot of fun with that. I'll have more to say on that later on. Since I'm working on it now with him, I don't want to talk too much about it on the podcast until I've kind of talked with him about it. Maybe I'll have him come on as well, and we can talk about some of the concepts of it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we can finally have our first guest
speaker. That'd be true. Yeah, that'd be nice. And actually, now that we do this like remotely like this, we could also have like other people join in. Like, it's not that hard to like just invite people in this way, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
totally doable.
So maybe one day I'll make a topic about it, but we'll see how it goes. I don't want to tie anything down until I've got more. Like, I want to get a real release of like the game before I've got any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then eventually get to the whole like, oh, how do we integrate this with VR? And, all that great stuff. How do we get it official on Instagram?
It's not a VR game. I'm not even touching VR. No. I just want a game with a cool soundtrack.
Nobody touches VR. That's the point.
Oh yeah, it's virtually touching. Right. I'm going to virtually touch your soul.
Ooh, Nagi.
7 skin roll. All right. So that's my topic. It was kind of, I don't know. It was just a weird concept that just came up with it. I was like, that's something I want to talk about. Cute and badass at the same time. It's weird how I like how you brought up Goku. That is, kind of like it's funny how that happens. It's weird, but there's something there where you can have a character that's intense and really like gruesome, but then you also have this like funny contrast to it that you want to make. I think Voldemort's a really good example. Like, you can easily make a funny, cutesy, like Potter Puppet Pals. If you ever watch that, Voldemort's suddenly like this funny little character instead of like this evil, crazy character. Like, yeah.
You talking about with the one where they sing?
Yeah.
Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Like that one, right?
That's me.
Yeah.
Severus Snape.
Snape.
Ron.
Snape.
Ron Weasley.
Severus Snape.
Hermione.
Oh, how do people come
man,
up
I used to
with
love
that? Jeez. Oh, that was.
I gotta watch that afterwards. That's a good one. That's a good.
I probably will do the same. It's a good way to go to sleep.
Anyways, that's what I've got. Now, I actually do have, since the topic is over, normally we like to do something called the Wheel of Scumm. But since we're running a little low on time, because we love to talk so much,
oh yeah,
my fiance came up with a really funny game based on our last topic last week, so we're going to do it now. And it is called Cheese or No Cheese.
Sweet.
Yeah, so when I told her about the ketchup or no ketchup thing, she was like, oh my gosh, you should do cheese or no cheese. So I was like, yep, done. So, we're doing cheese or no cheese. Very first thing, burgers. How are you?
Oh yeah. I think like if I have the option, I will likely get it. Cheese on a burger. Oh, just seeing that square of melted cheese just dripping on different parts of that patty. Oh.
When I was learning to draw like stuff from Archie comics, I used to like trace stuff from Archie comics, then try to freehand it afterwards. Burgers were like my favorite thing to draw because I would love it when I was drawing like the patties out, and then you just do that nice little like shape of the cheese coming out of the burger and dripping down or something. It's like, oh, just looks so good. Loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one then. Hot dogs. Cheese or no cheese?
Interesting. I never have cheese on a hot dog.
Have you never ever had cheese on a hot dog?
I mean, I can't picture having cheese on a hot dog. I might have had like fake, like Cheese Whiz.
Oh.
Or some. Actually, no. I don't think no, not Cheese Whiz. I feel like I've had some sort of like cheese sauce, but maybe I'm just confusing it with mustard in my mind.
Well, this is something my fiance introduced me to this, and I'm not saying every hot dog I have there's cheese on it, but if we're making a hot dog like at home for fun or whatever, like she'll toast the bun, and then when the bun comes up, she actually throws the cheese in there, and the cheese like melts into the bun, so it's like cheddar cheese just like sliced, and then you put the hot dog in there, and then your ketchup and your mustard, and it is so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, I've totally had cheese. Yeah. So, yeah, the way I've done it is I slice down the length of the dog, and then then I add a little strip of cheese in that slice. And so then as it cooks, then it melts inside it. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's time to show your Italian roots. Spaghetti.
And cheese, definitely.
You do. Okay, so you do throw the Parmesan on there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In most cases, I do. Like I like to have it. Really, okay. It depends on my mood, because sometimes I really just want to have just like the flavor of like the tomato and the beef in like a bolognese.
Yeah, because I've definitely seen like true Italians not having Parmesan on there, just the meatballs and the marinara and the pasta, but no Parmesan kind of thing. Yeah.
But then sometimes if I feel like I want to have get it, like having like a baked pasta, like baked with cheese is just so.
I love it. I know Romeo's does some really good baked pasta. It's fantastic.
Sorry, who does?
Romeo's.
Like, and Juliet?
No, there's sorry, maybe there's none on the mainland. I'm not sure. But
on the mainland, that's where I am. I don't recall a room.
I live on my own little bubble here on the island, but there's a family restaurant called Romeo's over here. I don't know how many there are over there, but they do a baked pasta. So you get like baked fettuccine, for example, and it would be fettuccine Alfredo in like a nice little pasta dish, like a casserole dish. But then they got that baked cheese like skin over the top of it, and it's so freaking good. Oh,
exactly.
I can taste it right now. It's so good. Okay, here's one. This is just reminding me because I was thinking of Italian foods, but cannoli.
Probably.
Because a true traditional cannoli, you will have the cheese inside of it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like I feel like most pastas I could probably just toss cheese onto any. Like I'd be happy to add them on for just about everything, or to not have it.
Wait, pasta? But a cannoli's a dessert.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking cannelloni. Sorry.
Rigatoni. Cannelloni. A cannoli. A traditional
I guess
cannoli has the it's like a cream cheese, so it's almost like
cream cheese. Yeah.
It was a test to see how you like your cannolis. Oh, ricotta. That was it. It's a skim ricotta cheese that's inside of it.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't add more cheese to it because in the cannolis that I find, the cheese is already fairly tart.
Yes. But that's
very it's a very sharp flavor already.
So that's the thing. So over here, when you say over here, but it would just mean in Canada in general. When you say cannoli, some people think you mean like the chocolate filled like eclair almost cannolis, and those.
I see.
My dad always made a big thing about how like those are not cannolis. Like those are just like the American version of a cannoli. He's like a cannoli is a cannoli. It's a pastry with like the whatever that cottage cheese was, whatever.
Ricotta?
Yeah, ricotta. With like the ricotta throughout it and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like when I grew up, I always found there was a huge distinction between the two, I guess. But anyways, what do you have for cheese? Cheese, no cheese.
Okay. I'm not saying these because like I would have them. Like I'm just gonna try to think of whatever I find could be like random or doable or whatever.
Yeah.
So strawberries.
Oh. Wow, I'm such a cheese lover. I'd like to try it. I don't know if it's good, but I would try it. It seems odd. It definitely seems odd, but I would try it.
It does seem odd, right? The reason why I bring it up is because, like, you know, people do, like, chocolate fondue.
I was going to say that the fondue dipping, there's the cheese one, yeah.
Right, and there's a cheese one, so why not toss a strawberry
Actually, for that matter, marshmallow and cheese. Is that a thing?
Whoa, I don't know if I want to try that.
I'm curious. Hey, you made me try Kraft slices in war wonton soup. So you know what? And that was surprisingly good. So
wait, was that at the Korean place that we went to?
I believe so.
Yeah. They I was gonna mention that too. That the army soup.
Army soup. Stew. That was it. Yeah, not war.
Yeah.
Not war wonton. Army. I was
World
thinking
War soup.
That was it. Army soup. Yeah.
That was close. Yeah, the army stew. I mean, like, I don't think you always add cheese to it, but when you do add cheese to it, you're happy.
I was shocked. You threw that thing in there, and I'm like, what? Like, it just looks weird, but it's great.
It does look weird at first, but then when you eat it, it's just it's magical.
So I don't know, marshmallows and cheese, sure, why not?
I guess if you try it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Okay, celery
and cheese. I would try celery in a melted cheese, like a melted cheddar cheese. But I wouldn't take like a sliced cheddar and just like eat a chunk of that with my celery. You know, I wouldn't do that.
You know, okay, I think I might have actually done that, but you know how people. Well, you know celery with cheese whiz, right? Like that combo. Yeah. So I think I have actually seen somebody like at a party they stuck actual like some sort of hard cheese in the grooves of the celery. I think I remember liking it. I'm sure it was good.
You know, I cheese is so good. Like I feel like you could eat with so many things. Like it's not gonna taste bad. I don't think. I just don't think I would do it. You know.
Yeah.
Like I mean, for example, I make a lot of salads, and there's cut up celery in there, and there's also shredded cheese. So it's not that different. But it's just I don't know. It's not how I would eat it, I guess. What about fries?
Yeah, that's fair. Oh yeah, cheese and fries.
Now, do you have to have the chili in there, or is it just fine, just cheese and fries, cheesy fries?
I mean, I could just do cheese and fries.
Okay, good. Specific. It's almost like specific kind of cheese, or.
Well, with fries, I guess. Oh man, I think of it like with nachos. I could do the cheddar cheese, but I'd also be happy with getting with doing like mozzarella, like curds or something, like a poutine.
I think we're finding out that cheese works with like a lot of stuff. Like you can pretty much.
Man.
I'm trying to think. Okay, I gotta think really outside of the box now. Then, so cheese and cheddar cheese and a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Whoa, I don't think I would like that.
Would you try it though?
I mean, I would try it.
I know. Okay, isn't that weird? Like, I would try it too.
We definitely have favoritism of cheese over ketchup. Yeah. Like, there's no way I would just try random things with ketchup.
Yeah.
But add cheese
I would
to the
totally
mix,
try that.
Yeah.
So here's what my mom accidentally made for me when I was a kid. Peanut butter and cheddar cheese in a sandwich. Ooh. Yeah, it was a complete accident, and I ate the thing.
Not knowing
it was wrong.
Like, oh, this is what she made for me. I'm supposed to eat it.
Peanut butter on one side, and it was cheddar cheese sliced up on the other side. And honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad. I can still remember the taste.
I'm sure it's not.
It's not that bad. Yeah, it's kind of good.
Okay, I got a couple. I I mean, well, this is similar to what you already said, but just chocolate and cheese. Just have like
I'd be down.
Like just a bark of chocolate.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. Dark chocolate and white, like a white cheddar, or like dark chocolate and matzo. I mean, would be good.
Dark chocolate.
I feel like it would be. I don't know if it is, but it just in my mind, I'm like, I can picture dark chocolate taste. I can picture like a mozzarella taste. I'm like, yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I don't know. I think that would work. I don't know if it's good. I would totally try that.
Yeah, we try it. I think that's what we're finding out with this. Like, toss cheese on it. We'll probably just try it.
What about this? Yogurt. Sorry, ice cream.
No.
Ice cream with cheese on top.
You know what? I probably wouldn't want to, only because when I have ice cream, like I want to be able, like I like just having that texture on its own.
I know.
I don't.
The cheese would be
such
a weird texture with it. Imagine the cheese being soggy because of the ice cream on it too, right? It's just kind of this weird soggy piece of cheddar.
That, or like if it doesn't get soggy, like you'll have like a chunk of cheese, but you still have to bite through this really cold layer before you get to that cheese. And I don't know, like it might be
of your vanilla ice cream or whatever kind of ice cream it was.
And the flavor too. Like, what flavor would you pick?
Okay, what about this? Because this is popular: apple pie with a slice of cheddar cheese on top.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. It's a full-on thing.
That's not a thing.
In fact, some people actually do like the ice cream and the cheddar cheese on top of their apple pie. And same with I think it's same with like rhubarb pie and cherry pie. People do the cheddar cheese on top. But my fiance was actually mentioning just apples in general. Some people do an apple with cheddar cheese, but the apple pie with cheddar cheese is really popular. So what do you think about that?
What the? I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I think it's a very American style. Like I want to say it's like the middle, like central kind of America kind of thing. But gosh, if you say South America or Central America, I'm still talking about the U.S., but it sounds like I'm talking about like Mexico or like Brazil,
like Guatemala.
Yeah,
like I was.
That's
actually,
not what I mean. I mean like in the Central
States. I'm
States.
pretty sure you're talking about like North America, but the South of North America.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I kind of want to say no, but yeah, I would just try it.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'll try to. When you got the pastry and all like the apples in there, I was like, yeah, it's weird, but I tried. Why not?
It's just eating a bunch of stuff now. Okay, so think about this. Think about all the different ways you could be served this item, the different ways that it could be prepared / cooked.
Okay.
Sushi.
I'm not the biggest fan of sushi already off the bat, but honestly, I feel like the cheese would improve the sushi a little bit. Ooh. You know what's weird? The soy sauce and the cheddar with the sushi, I feel like would be kind of weird. I've now got this wet like hunk of cheese. Oh, unless it was melted. That'd be a little bit better. But what's really strange is you've opened my mind to wasabi and cheese. I feel like would be really good. That would be good.
I would try that.
If I had a literal chunk of cheddar cheese and like a little spritz of wasabi on there, and then I just ate that, I would be very curious to know how that was.
Oh, me too. Ooh.
If you could have wasabi infused cheddar cheese, that'd be really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Or like a wasabi infused Gouda, because we recently got a couple.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you put Gouda with anything, that's also fine.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I went to Save On the other day, and my wife wanted me to get a couple different Gouda, like in flavor infused Goudas or whatever.
Yeah.
So one was cranberry, which they were out of. The other one was truffle oil or truffle infused Gouda. And have yet to try that, but I'm very excited because like we enjoy truffle in like a lot of different flavors. Oh right, so I wanted to mention the thing about the sushi. So there's actually a restaurant here, nearby where you used to live. So Sushi Garden on Kingsway, across from Metrotown.
Oh yeah.
They do this one. So it's the maki, like it's the rolls, not like not nigiri sushi where the fish is on top, but so the rolls, but it is, so it's baked with cheese on top of it, and I think this one, actually I think it's chicken. So it's like chicken wrapped in the seaweed and the rice, but baked with cheese on top.
Wow, that actually sounds really good.
It is really good.
Yeah, I would totally eat that. That's like a me kind of sushi thing though. Like I'm less about the raw fish and more about like I like the rice. I like that. There's a cooked salmon skin one that I really like.
Is it the BC roll?
Yeah, I think it's probably the BC roll. I remember TNT roll and BC roll. I think were the two that I liked.
Because yeah, BC roll I think is the one that usually has the salmon skin.
Yeah, that one's
but
really
it's
good.
like barbecued salmon skin or like cooked salmon skin. Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. We got it at that Sushiyama place there. Wait, is it Sushiyama? No. What is it called? It's right down from Sushi Garden. No, yeah, Sushi Garden's what you were talking about. Yes, it's right down from there. It was some kind of sushi place.
Sushi Kingsway.
It's really popular. I don't remember what it's called now.
Like nearby Sushi Garden.
Nearby, yeah, but it's closer to where.
Sushi Oyama.
Oh, it is Oyama. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought that wasn't it, but yeah, Sushi Oyama. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That place is really good. Oyama. Oyama.
Why have I? I don't think I've ever been here. Sushi
Recommended. That's a good sushi
Ooh.
spot. If anybody else is ever in Vancouver in the Metro Town area, go to Sushi Oyama. I used to live near there. And it was very good.
This is the one that looks like a castle.
Yes. And they apparently somebody said it was haunted.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go more.
Fun.
Oh, this looks good. This is, what is this? It's like a buri tuna or a buri toro wrapped around something with some scallops on top. Oh man.
All right, and that brings me to topic number 2.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Double rainbow.
Oh. Oh man.
Oh,
That was a really good but bad topic. I am really hungry.
I feel like we're going to come back to the cheese or no cheese topic at some point. If you guys have any cheese or no cheese questions for us, you let us know.
Yeah. I'm surprised neither of us asked cheese and ketchup. But I guess, we kind of did that with the whole craft dinner and ketchup. So, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so my topic. I don't really know how to define this topic, but the idea is about... so we kind of touched upon this actually like in one of our like most earliest podcast episodes, and it was just the idea of how we get information these days. So now this is specific to how we learn about celebrities, for example, and this came up to me because I was listening to the weekly podcast, and they had a commenter talk about how like they get force fed. They kind of get like force-fed news about celebrities that they just don't care about, but It's only because of like it's just like online tabloids and ads and just like whatever. They're not relevant, but they're just there because that's what is getting marketed. That's what these companies decide to push. Yeah. And so the result of that is they end up knowing all this information about the celebrity or person or whatever, but they just don't care about it. But they have the knowledge. It was like, so that they phrase it as they were forced upon this knowledge. Like they didn't want it, they didn't seek it out.
That's an interesting angle, yeah. I could totally understand that mentality, and I definitely get it.
Yeah, and so I was trying to retrace like my own steps. Like, have I come across that? And like, I definitely have.
Yeah.
And I tried to compare it to when I'm actually actively seeking out information about celebrities, which I'm much more happy to learn about, obviously. So I'll give you 2 examples. So my one example would be of being like force-fed information would be Kim Kardashian. I have no interest in her life whatsoever, and I'm not saying that I know everything there is to know about her, but I know enough about her that is like I know more than I'm interested to know and to find out and to seek out. Yeah. So things I know about her, she's married to Kanye West. They have a child named North. Beforehand, she had a sex tape with Ray J. She has this show with her family, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. All of her siblings, they have some sort of like online persona. Her mom her dad is transgendered and is now Caitlyn Jenner, a woman.
I didn't even know that was her dad. Weird.
Yeah. And I think and also because of this, I know that he was an Olympic medalist. But because of this, because of being transgendered, there was this whole thing about like, does he or she deserve to keep her medals?
Wow.
Anyway, so that this is all.
I had no idea that they were related. I didn't know that. I actually didn't know she was married to Kanye West either. Didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Weird.
So anyway, this is just I would never think to look into stuff like this, but like this is the amount of stuff that I've actually just come to know because of, I guess you could say, social media and whatever. I would just have to refer them as like online tabloids, right?
Yeah.
Just people finding out like celebrity gossip and wanting to spread it to as far like across the world as possible, and it ends up into my head. Anyway, not saying that like I'm disgruntled about it, but it's just interesting to know, like, man, I know all this information about this person without having even tried.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so now I'll talk about somebody that I've actually put more effort into looking into, not like a huge amount, but enough that like I stumbled upon him in the beginning and then sought out more after, and it was all because of like I was really interested to find out. So there's this baritone sax player. His name is Leo P. Leo Pellegrino, or Peregrino.
Like the water?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Isn't that Perrier?
Oh, Perrier. Yeah, you're right.
I think Pellegrino.
No, there's San Pellegrino.
The San Pellegrino.
San Pellegrino.
Yeah. Isn't that what it's called?
Oh, San Pellegrino.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait.
I just typed it in.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's Leo Pellegrino.
Water.
That's right. Okay. All right. Well, anyway. So, anyway, so Leo P. So I found out about him because I had a suggested video on YouTube. So that's like the one thing I can thank YouTube for. Was like they suggested this video that they thought I might like, and it was Leo P. playing baritone sax at the BBC Proms in 2017. So there's this whole orchestra playing, and they've got the set, and then he comes on for like a 9.5 minute set, and like just this one guy on this baritone sax is just holding it down, like he's playing riffs, he's playing his own bass line pretty much, like obviously not at the exact same time, like he goes from one to the other, but he also solos, and his actual like he actually has like fairly good technical proficiency from my perspective, that like he's able to get those kind of tones in a saxophone that you can only get from like a lot of training, and like experimenting too, and he's pretty solid in them. So anyway, so he's got also this like crazy like stage presence. So while he's playing this heavy baritone saxophone, he's also jumping around, he's dancing, he's doing like the can, like he's just he's kind of like all over the place, but his tone for the most part stays like fairly in tune, like it's still, he doesn't like go crazy like flat or sharp or anything,
right?
To my ears. Anyway, so because of seeing him in that and really enjoying that, I sought out more information about him, found out that he played with this band called Lucky Chops, who I had the fortune of watching live. They actually toured here to Vancouver. I think I might have mentioned this, but they played here at the Rickshaw in 2019. They're this band that started by playing in the subways. Yeah, so they were playing the subway stations in New York, and they sounded amazing. Like they do all these covers, they mash it up with their own style. But they mash up like two songs together, so it would be like Funky Town and like a Lady Gaga song, or like Eye of the Tiger.
I love that
like
stuff.
Something else,
That's
right?
Cool.
And yeah, and like they put their own flavor onto it, so they're all great musicians. They have, you could tell they have like a passion for playing, and Leo P was one of them. So anyway, seeking out more, found out that he played with this other band, Too Many Zoos, and they're also like a really really awesome like funk band. And then now I also, from watching those videos, I can tell like he's and this is just random information, but from me actually seeking out, like watching him in these videos, I can see his like style. He likes to change his hair color all the time, and he has like really fun outfits, and he's got like a sweet set of kicks. Like he's got a whole bunch of different shoes that I really like. And what else? And there's this other sax player, her name is Grace Kelly, that kind of has a similar style to him in terms of her stage presence and like just her feel for playing. And so now they are a duet called Too Saxy, and they play together, they make videos together.
That's cool.
And actually they recently 2019 sometime, they had this concert where they played with the 8-bit band.
Oh yeah,
or the 8-bit orchestra. Yeah. Right, so they're known for playing like video game covers and video game songs. So they played with them, and they dressed up as Ash and Misty, and they played the Pokemon theme, like with the 8-bit band. And it was awesome because like they play the theme, but then they also have time to do their own solos, and you get to hear, they kind of also put their own flavor into it for their own little section. Anyway, so yeah, so this, like, I'm sure you can even tell just by the way I'm talking about it that I'm actually really interested and like pretty hyped up about what I've found by actively searching about this guy
versus
the stuff about Kim Kardashian. And no knock against Kim and like, you know, her family or anything, but it's just the way that I've come to this knowledge that like obviously one was proactively and like sought out, that became beneficial for me because I really enjoy the information I got out of it, whereas this other force-fed information, I'm not really enjoying knowing it. I just have it, and now I can talk about it in a podcast. So anyway, just thought I'd bring that up because I thought it was a really interesting thing, like another layer of what the internet is kind of doing for us / to us in a way.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And there's not much more I have to say about that, but I imagine maybe in your case, like, well, for example, now you know about that Zach George guy because you've been looking.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that too. I was like, yeah, it's funny how that will happen. You need something useful from something, and then you discover about this person, or you go, oh, he's actually kind of a cool guy, and you start to learn about their lives. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I find podcasts are like that too. Like as podcasts go on, you learn more about the people, and then you start to like those people for who they are and what they do and stuff, and you start to relate to them more, and you like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, with political podcasts, I've noticed that that is my example of me learning all this stuff I could care less about. And I feel like people don't talk about this enough, especially on the conservative side of things. But a lot of conservative podcasts out there, and I eat them all up. I listen to all of them, and I love a lot of them. But they pride themselves on having like this sense of like nobility and like being like taking the high road on things, not being rude, you know, not being too argumentative, not protesting about stupid things, and just trying to win correctly the way it should be done, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's how they see themselves. And then there's always, you know, oh, did you see what this person from the left said on Twitter the other day? Like, I can't believe they're so dumb. So one example recently was with the Academy Awards, and it was I think it was Natalie Portman. I think. And she had worn a dress that was it was made up of all of the names of women that didn't win awards or weren't nominated. I think you had mentioned this.
Oh, she had it in her yeah, I believe it was Natalie Portman. She had like, it was written on the back side of her. She had like a cape or like a jacket over her dress,
something like that.
Something.
Yeah. It was the whole dress was made out of the names of the people that weren't nominated that were women or something like that, right? And it was a political statement, and she made it. I get it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it was a political statement. But then the podcast will be all about like that, you know, and it'll be all about like how that's a bad thing and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, now I know all this about Natalie Portman that I don't care about. And like now next time I watch, is it Pirates or Star Wars? I can't remember which one she's in.
Star Wars.
Now when I watch that, I'll probably be like, oh, that's the one thing I know about this girl. She wore a dress to an Academy Awards thing that is apparently bad politics, you know. And like that's what's frustrating to me. It's like that I don't care. I could care less, right? And another one was actually Brad Pitt. His Academy Awards speech. He said something quite political about the Trump hearing at the time. And at first, when I first heard it, I was kind of like, and then he started talking more about his movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he started talking more about Hollywood in general and all of his speech, and it actually ended up being a pretty good speech. By the end of it, I was like, oh, that wasn't bad, right? Well, the next day, all my podcasts are all going off about like the horribleness of Brad Pitt's speech at the Academy Awards, and I'm like, ugh, like it's annoying. Like at some point, you gotta see that you're also just as bad as them. Like if you're making fun of them so much for being that one way, like you're doing the same thing that way. So I see where, in a weird way, I'm being pushed all this information about these people that I could care less about, right? Kanye West is another one. He started saying some good things about Trump, and now suddenly he's on all the conservative podcasts for being a conservative guy. I could care less. I don't care who Kanye West is. I don't need to know this guy very much. He's not a big person in my life at all, right? It doesn't change my life in any way. So I don't need to know about these celebrities. And it was just, like you said, it's force-fed information into you that you don't need to care about or at all. And and then like you just said, there's this Zach George guy now who I'm watching dog videos of, and I start to learn more about this guy. I start to like him as a dog trainer and all that kind of stuff. That's so much better. You're seeking out the information instead of it being forced onto you, and now you like this person. And it doesn't have to be about politics or anything stupid like that. It doesn't have to be about even if they like ketchup on their burger or not, you know. It's just about dog videos, and that makes me like them. And in your case, it was about music, and that's why you like them, and that's all that's all you're really seeking out. Maybe if you looked further into it and you found something about them you didn't necessarily like as much, at least you did the research to find that. It wasn't like forced onto you. Did you know they murder babies in their spare time? You know, like, it was it wasn't forced onto you. So yeah, I agree with that too. And it's funny how with podcasts, I find that happens a lot. All this information you don't want is just fed into it, almost like an advertisement, even though it's not an ad. It's weird.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say that like I absolutely like I don't hate the fact that I know the knowledge that I do. And obviously, like, you know, I've always had a thing against those magazines with tabloids when you go to like check out at a grocery store and the whole rack is just filled with like, oh, this like Queen Elizabeth like actually had an affair, blah, 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 but nobody knew about it. We just found out about it now. I'm like, why? Get out of her life. Like, it's so annoying when they're trying to shove this information in front of you. Yeah. And I guess it's kind of like a double-edged sword with the ability to seek out information on the internet. You're going to be exposed to things that you don't want to see, right? Because that's just how the internet works. It's open. It's available for anybody to just like add stuff onto, like upload information that they want and get in front of as many eyes as possible. Yeah. It's like in the information age, but getting too much information. Like, there's something to be said about that. Just because we can get all this information at our fingertips doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. It fills our head with just all this nonsense. We should have it. Yeah. But yes, it fills our head with a lot of nonsense, and I still subscribe to the theory that my brain can only fill with so many things, and every time I learn something new, something else is shooting out of the back of my brain. It's like I can only fill it up with, like, let's say 30,000 objects, right? And as soon as I put in another one, then a different one is leaving, so it still remains 30,000 objects in my brain. So I almost don't want to learn the new information anymore, because I'm like, I don't want to memorize that. If I memorize that, I'm going to lose the other thing I memorized. So yeah. No, I kind of feel the same way. Like, I just wish I could just shove my brain with all the information that I just want to know. Exactly. I want the important stuff and just keep that in there. Next time you don't want to tell me your phone number, I'm not going to memorize that. I don't want to, because I'm going to lose something else. Yeah, that's information that you could just have, like, somebody text it to you. Yeah, exactly. And then it's on your phone. Your phone can remember for you. So I don't know if they're going to name that something in the future, but in the information age, I think we have a little bit too much, maybe. What would it... Selective... No. Selective memorization. I don't know. So kind of selective memory. Yes. Selective. Well, I mean, we already selective memory is a thing, though, right? But I don't know exactly how selective memory works. But anyway, yeah, that's just. I think that's kind of just like the life that we live. It's just knowing that there is all this information out there, and there's multiple ways to obtain it, whether you seek it out or it's just forced upon you. And you make with it what you will. Like the whole thing with the Natalie Portman thing. Actually, no, I was thinking Natalie Portman, Brad Pitt, like those as examples. I find that actors, and this was I was going to use this as another topic, which we probably still can, or we kind of did touch upon this before. But actors, because they are in the spotlight so much more, they have more opportunity to use their voice in some way, in the way that they want to promote, right? So I think it does make sense that you stumbled upon a podcast or several podcasts that ended up talking so much about Natalie Portman and her dress, and then also about Brad Pitt and his speech. Yeah. I mean, even with Joaquin Phoenix's speech. Oh God, recently at the Oscars, but that was just like gobbledygook. That wasn't anything. That was just a man who couldn't string two words together. To some people, it definitely was. It was that, and to some other people, it was very, I guess, powerful in terms of knowing. Or I guess, people just being receptive of like, oh yeah, right, we do have the ability to do more to treat people right and to treat animals well. I can't remember exactly what his speech was about, but I have a feeling it was about like the way that we treat each other, right? I think he may have said that somewhere in that speech. He might have said that, yeah. In that mixture of ketchup and cheese. Yeah. So that was that's I think it's nice that they do have a platform to get to say things, and especially when it is kind of beneficial for people to actually retain and be receptive of. But yeah, otherwise there's also the opportunity for things out there to be that people just don't want to listen to. Yeah. But, yeah. So, it's like they click on a podcast that's got two different topics on it, and they're hoping to hear about those topics. And then these guys, they just start tangenting off about all these other things. Yeah. And now they're forced to listen to what these guys are tangenting. And why do they talk about ketchup with everything? What's the point? Cheese or no cheese? That's just gonna be like that. Maybe that should just be.
That'll be the topic title. The last one will be ketchup or no ketchup. This is cheese or no cheese.
Should be, yeah.
All right. Well, on that happy note, Anth0z, I would like to say, where can the audience find you?
Well, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's at ANTH0Z1.
And if you want to find me, you can find me at Mattbrush Gaming on YouTube or Twitter or wherever. It doesn't really matter. I was trying to do something with my arms and I got confused what I was saying while I was doing it. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's Mattbrush Gaming. If you want to find me on YouTube, it's also Mattbrush Gaming. You can find the Scumm podcast on YouTube there in video format if you want to watch it with your eyeballs. But if you want to listen to it with your earballs, you just got to go to any of your favorite podcasting platform and type in the Scumm podcast, and we're probably there. I hope we are. I think we are.
Yeah. I think we paid enough people to be on there.
Yeah, exactly. We paid off all the right people. Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, with cheese, not ketchup.
Ah, that's the ticket.
Aha.
Gouda, smoked Gouda. So if you want to give us a like or a comment or a subscribe or a star or a happy face or a thumbs up, just any of those, or cheese, we will accept that greatly. Money works too. If you want to send us like an email, you can go to thescummbarpodcast@gmail.com, send us a message there, and yeah, let us know what you guys think about the podcast. Let us know what you're thinking. We'd love to hear from you guys. So
Yeah.
on that note, Anth0z, take it away.
What is the point of opinions but for to reach the vast array of ears that dwell upon the earth side by side, by side, by side. And with those ears, transmitting that data in and around and through your body to other parts that send it out with a ding.
Is my phone that loud?
Yeah. But that's okay. That's a good cutoff. All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Ding.